Airberlin is currently on. Because as an airline, founded 34 years ago, we had a tremendous growth since 2006 by adding all type of airlines to Airberlin. Deutsche BA, Niki from Austria, Bel Air from Switzerland, TUI Fly. But that created at the same time a tremendous problem for the airline because we were having different platforms. We had a lot of double functions, but we didn't have one common structure. And for that reason, in 2011, Airberlin was in a very, very difficult position, financially, but also looking to the world economy, where were the opportunities for us to embark again and to become successful. So since 2011, we are on the journey, a journey to make Airberlin more efficient, by taking out network double structures and platform structures, for instance from an operational point of view, getting a more financial stable situation, but from the other side invest in markets, like we're doing here in Scandinavia, invest in new systems, invest in new services to be able to secure our future together with our partners Etihad and from the other side One World. So what have we done? Since 2011 we said, well, everything what is in Düsseldorf or what is in Munich, we have one design for our network. We have one revenue management system. We are decreasing the number of aircraft from 117 to 147 this year and reducing it further to 143 by the start of next year. However, we are improving at the same time the productivity with 5%. Why? We are flying between our hubs, Düsseldorf and Berlin, and we are concentrating on our focus airports and focus markets, and Scandinavia is one of them. Today, 4 times a day, Stockholm, Berlin, and today as well, 3 times a day, Gothenburg to Berlin. And then in addition, we have our operation to Vienna as well. Scandinavia is important for us, and we are in the redesign of the airline, creating our network with maybe less destinations, but from the other side, higher density, more frequencies. Our financial position, and you have quite an experience here in the Nordic area where SAS was in a very difficult position. You saw carriers disappearing, partly in Denmark, but also here in Sweden. And where's Airberlin standing today? If you're looking to our own capital, yes, that is negative. But from the other side, if you would have a positive own capital, but you would not have cash, you cannot survive. The cash position of Airberlin today is healthy, and we are able to generate a positive cash flow, meaning that that is giving us the future and the sustainability which we need as such. But having the positive cash, we also want to invest. Not only investing in new app applications, e-commerce and all type of other tools, invest in our teams, like the team here sitting from Scandinavia. We are investing in our guests, and last year we had more than 33 million guests, giving their confidence, giving their hearts to Airberlin, and we were giving our service heart to them. And you will find, of course, one in your plastic bag, the chocolate heart, you were eating already one. And on top of that, we are investing in the product on board. The product on board, not only a new catering concept, where Airberlin is not a low-cost airline, where Airberlin is not a no-frills airline. We are a high efficiency, high value airline. We are offering full services to our guests. So they get free drinks on board, they get a snack or a meal on board, and on top they can buy additional meals or order meals, whatever they like. And we are investing in a new tourist class, economy class, and in a new business class, and I will show you the pictures, and you have the brochures in front of you. Next to investing, we're also taking care to be a punctual and a service-oriented airline. And what I would like to address here as well, and not run away from it. Yes, we had in Sweden on the 9th of August quite a nasty incident. One of our aircrafts left, and the pilot decided to leave the luggage behind. Why? We were arriving too late here in Arlanda due to slot constraints, And the captain had the choice, either leaving and guaranteeing the connections for the passengers on board, and then shipping afterwards straight away the luggage to the final destination, or staying in Stockholm, having to put everyone in a hotel, and then maybe flying the next day and missing the connections where there were quite some unique connections on that flight. The captain, and finally that is also my responsibility, the captain decided to fly, taking the chance that the baggage via Berlin would be delivered as soon as possible. As you know, the Germans failed, which is rather painful for engineers making almost the best cars. I'm not talking about Volvo, the Swedish ones, but making very good cars, being very good architects. They failed to design an airport in Berlin, where Airberlin has also put a lot of hope on it. So in the meantime, we're still transferring our guests, and we have that tremendous growth also out of Scandinavia, where people have found the way via Berlin, but also Düsseldorf, to our total network. In Berlin, the suitcases went lost. We are dependent there, but also our responsibility from a handling agency. And only by human intervention, and we are investing there, adding people on the ground, adding people in the baggage cellar to support the handling agents, we are able to maintain a good and acceptable transfer product via Berlin. With Murphy's Law, this went not well here in Sweden. We have apologized, and I do apologize for that, and taken the final responsibility. The captain took the choice, get you on your final destination, but the baggage system was unable to cope with it in Berlin, and then a miscalculation was made. We invest in our service, we invest in our product, we invest in our people, and we invest in the environment. To be a sustainable airline is extremely important for Airberlin, and today we burn 3.4 liter per 100 passenger kilometers. And that is very efficient. You don't find many cars doing this. But there's one thing clear. We do not compromise to safety. We do not compromise to our service. But from the other side, where we can be as environmental cautious as we can be, we are. Airberlin is on the journey. We are working on our future, where it is extremely clear. Airberlin was an airline, and I will start with the historic slide. Airberlin is an airline, and Airberlin will be the airline also for the Scandinavians in the years to come. Our plans are extending the network, improving our service, working closely together with Etihad and OneWorld. Please allow me to take you through the presentation, where maybe some repetition is in, just to see and to say where we start. Our history, 55,000 guests, 33.3 million guests, turnover of 4.3 million. And what you see here, as from 2006, this was beautiful growth, but at the same time, it created our problem that we were growing too fast, we were not having the right platform, and giving us a tremendous challenge to survive and to get the cost under control. Therefore, consolidation, the number 7 in Europe, closely monitoring with a clear business focus with OneWorld and Etihad Airways. And on every journey, you also have a journey plan. Where do you want to go? What is your vision? What is your strategic content? Airberlin is having two businesses. Touristic business and scheduled services. And they very nicely blend together, like other airlines are copying our model more and more. You have an idea how many flights a week in high season we have to Palma de Mallorca? Guess. Who's bidding?
412 German cities.
Sorry?
We fly from like 10 German cities.
10 German cities. How many would you say?
412.
412?
More than 500.
More than
600.
Who's offering more?
600.
600. More than 600. A little bit more than 600. Bottom line, we are taking out of the touristic industry 1.6 to 1.7 billion turnover from the turnover you saw on the page before, from the 1.4 billion. For us, an extremely important base to stand on, to build on, and to continue with it. Now, for instance, out of Copenhagen, we fly in high season 5 times a week, also from Copenhagen to Palma de Mallorca. And we do not, at the end of the day, exclude that maybe we will also do this one day out of Scandinavia, Stockholm and Oslo. The other part is the scheduled services, where I have some slides for you what we do via Abu Dhabi and what we are doing exactly on the North Atlantic. So point number 1, 2 businesses. Point number 2, 2 hubs, Berlin and Düsseldorf. And we are building our network day by day by day by getting more density, higher frequencies, like the bus, and being able to feed our network. In addition, 6 focus airports, Munich, Hamburg and Stuttgart in Germany, Zurich for our partner Bel Air, Vienna for Niki, and of course Palma and Mallorca if you had it right, if you have so many destinations open. Number 3, Etihad. Number 4, One World. And the question is always popping up, can you have Etihad and One World together? Because in One World is Qatar. Qantas is working nicely with Emirates. We are having a strategic partnership as the 3rd pillar in our strategy, on our journey plan. And from the other side, British Airways is closely working to Qatar. We can do this in our 4th, more or less, focus point in our strategy, the One World Alliance. What are we doing with Etihad? If you're looking on the next slide, you see the network. We are having today 67 destinations from Airberlin, where Etihad has put a code on as if it is an Etihad flight. We have 32 flights where Airberlin has put the airline code on an Etihad flight to Australia, to India, to China, to Japan, to Indonesia, to the Philippines, the whole eastern part. And every week we have 42 flights between Germany and Abu Dhabi, so 6 a day, feeding into the network of Etihad